I invite you all to step into the tunnel of time, which will take us back 750 BC or around 3,000 years ago. The Iron Age, a time where lived one of the most amazing civilizations, the Celts. The British Celts were great warriors. They believed in the strong power of nature, and they worshipped up to 400 gods. And their magic and cunning spells and all their enchantments you will be able to see in the following folk Celt story, which is called Conla and the Fairy Maiden. On a very bright Sunday afternoon, Con, fighter of 100 fights, and Conla, his son of the fiery hair, were standing on the height of Yusna, worshipping Dagda, the god of all gods and goddesses. When, all of a sudden, Conla of the fiery hair heard the most undescribable voice coming from the sea. Then he asked, "Where do you come from? Where are you that I can't see?" And the voice answered, "I come from the land of the ever-living ones, there where we have no death, neither old age. There we keep holidays always, and in all our pleasure we have no strife." When Con, fighter of 100 fights, heard his son talking to someone, he wondered much who was that he could not see. Then he asked his son, "My son, who are you talking to?" And the fairy maiden answered, "Conla speaks to a very young fairy maiden. Where she lives? She lives in a land far away called Moimel, where Bodag is king for aye. And since he has held the kingship, there hasn't been no sorrow, no pain. I come here to invite Conla to come with me to the mighty land, there where a fairy crown awaits for him, to grace him in his royal form. There is a land where he will have no needs. There he will live forever in peace and harmony." When Con, fighter of 100 fights, heard that, he feared what the maiden had said. and therefore he called upon his druid friend, Cotton of the Might Spells. And in a blink of eye, Cotton the druid appeared before him. So he spoke to him. Cotton, my friend, a task too great is upon me, greater than all my skill and wit. A fairy unseen has met us, and by her power she promised to take away Conla, my son, my only dear son. If you help me not, she will take him away from my kingdom, and he will be forever gone. And then Cotton looked at the place where they were hearing the voice coming from, and he started to chant his spells towards that place, till no one could not hear or see the maiden's voice anymore. But as she vanished away, the maiden threw an apple to Conla and promised that she would return by the end of that month to take him away with her. And from that day onwards, Conla would eat or drink nothing but that apple. And as he ate it, it grew it again. And he ate it, and it grew it again. And he ate it, and he grew it again. And also, Conla felt a very, very strong desire to see the maiden. So much so that he kept under deep depression throughout that month. And his father started to worry much to what could happen next. And you know, time is invisible. Keep moving without us noticing. So 1 day passed, 2 days, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And finally, the last day of the month arrived. And Conla, dressed up in his most beautiful dress, and he left. He went back to the place where he had met the maiden for the first time. And his father, Con, fighter of 100 fights, and his court followed him. When they arrived at the height of Yusna, Conla kept looking for the maiden everywhere, everywhere. When suddenly the maiden turned up. This is a glorious day, forsooth, that Conla will live amongst the short-lived mortals. Conla, my dear, comely Conla, I come here to take you to my land, Moi Mel. There, You will be away from all the pain and all the sorrow from your world. Come and live with us. There is a crown of fairies awaiting for you. Come, Colin, and you won't regret. When Con of 100 Fights heard the maiden's voice once more, he felt in totally despair and said, "Cotton, my druid friend, come here, because I see that the maiden's voice is around us again, once more. Come with your might spells." And the maiden answered back, "I'm afraid, but the druid spells doesn't work in our might land, my dear Con of Fighter of 100 Fights. I came here to take your son to one of the most beautiful sacred lands, and you should thank me for that." So I say it again, come, Colin, into my curragh, and you won't regret. In that moment, Con, the fighter of 100 fights, asked his son, "Conla, my dear son, do you feel for this maiden? Do you feel this love? Do you feel that it's fair to go with her to wherever she is asking you to go with?" And then his son replied, "Oh, my dear father, I loved my people above all things, but very strong feelings inside me, stronger than anything that I have felt so far. So I ask for your forgiveness, but it's my mission to go." Once he said that, he rushed away from the king and his court and sprang into the curragh, the gliding, straight, gleaming crystal canoe. And away he went, sailing over the bright sea towards the setting sun. And there the whole court stood by, just looking at them, sailing away and away and away, till the eye could see it no longer.